So I know you're a new grad and there's a lot to take in nursing. It seems very overwhelming, and it's going to be a learning process. You're going to learn so much along the way and get more and more comfortable as you go. Something that some people struggle with is time management, which can be challenging because you have so many things to do and only so much time. That'll come with time and practice and kind of troubleshooting what works for you. Another thing people can struggle with is giving report, especially if you're nervous as a new grad and you feel intimidated giving report to a more seasoned nurse. That's totally normal, and the only way to get through that is just to practice. And you can always ask them for pointers, like, did I miss anything? Can I improve on anything? And they should be more than willing to help you out with that. And then the last thing is some people struggle with, challenging patients and how to handle that. And that also just comes with time, and use your resources, your charge nurse, your preceptor, and they can help you navigate those more difficult situations. Once people get off orientation, I think towards the end of orientation, the nurse is kind of like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be on my own next week. And they start to feel nervous, even though, they've had 10 weeks or whatever of orientation, they've been doing great. Just thinking of being on your own is a little intimidating. And then I often find, I talk to the nurses a couple shifts in, I'm like, how's it going? You're on your own. And they're like, oh, it's good. It's going well. So I think to a certain degree, it's like the bird has to leave the nest, and like you guys can do it. And it's a little intimidating at first, but you'll give yourself confidence. The more you do, you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. And there's going to be days when you're like, wow, that was terrible. I really drowned. I really got behind, but I got through. And that's still for experienced nurses. We have rough days and we have good days. And some days you feel like you know it all, and other days you don't feel like you know anything, but that's just kind of nursing, and you learn as you go. As far as getting comfortable by yourself, it really varies, and I think it depends on the support that you have after you get off orientation. If people are kind of like uplifting you and giving you confidence and, telling you did a great job, I think that helps, but you certainly don't need, external validation. It's just nice to hear every once in a while that you're doing it right. But yeah, 1 year nursing, you feel more comfortable. You feel like you've got a bit of experience, and depending on the unit you work in, you've seen a lot in 1 year. But it's a continuous journey, really, and you will get comfortable. Some days more than others, but you'll get there. So nursing can be stressful, and you have to find your outlets, how you're going to cope with it. One big thing that I like to do is I leave work, I can vent about it for a minute, talk about it, and then leave it at work. Kind of the nice thing about nursing is you don't have to take it home with you. You took care of your patient all day, and now you're home and it's behind you. So try to let the stressors go. I know there's certain personalities that's hard for them to do. So, find your own outlets. What helps you, exercise always helps me. Having a good friend on the unit who kind of understands what you're going through helps. You might call your mom or your husband and tell them about your day. They don't really know what you're talking about. But if you have a friend on the unit and they're like, I know that was a rough one, you can kind of get through it together. And then depending on facilities, they have support for nurses. We had a resiliency program. It was just a kind of a casual meeting of nurses on the units, and talked about challenging times or, sad patient cases or something, and just kind of talked through it together, which is nice to, have the camaraderie aspect.
Thanks for watching. To get full access to our Simple Nursing New Grad Prep course filled with tons of helpful tips and tricks, simply click the link in our description below. Remember, don't be scared, be prepared. Ensure a smooth transition into your nursing career with our new course. See you guys there.